When it comes to school extracurriculars or non-academic programs, when it comes to budget cuts, the easiest thing to cut is typically the music program, right? All the extracurriculars you'll find in a public school, it's the fine arts and the creative classes that are on the chopping block first. When it comes to budget cuts, they're seen as less important or not needed to bolster or engender academic success with the sciences or the maths or the overall academic performance of the school. However, this couldn't be further from the truth. Parents of musicians and creative types know how much hard work, dedication, and skill it takes just to play an instrument or to sing in choir, to do something creative. So today I'd like to tell you about how music programs are a huge integral part of helping students learn. Music teaches discipline, creativity, promotes right, left brain thinking, it boosts students' IQs. My audience for today will be my little dog right here, as I don't have anyone else. So I'll begin by telling you about how music teaches discipline and creativity. If you were to ask really any musician, is it hard to play music? I can tell you, you would be hard pressed to find someone who would honestly and truthfully say, no, music is incredibly easy. It takes so many years just to grasp the basics of music theory, playing an instrument, many, many hours of practice, weeks of preparation just for a performance. This may lead to maybe a misunderstanding that we, as the audience, only see the performance. We only see the finished product. And this maybe creates a false idea of maybe music is not as hard when it could be further from the truth. You don't see the countless hours of practice the student did, the many rehearsals the ensemble did, to bring this piece of music, to bring this collective of students together to create one singular piece of art. You don't see the effort the conductor had to put in to bring a 50-plus person band or orchestra or choir together and rehearse them to where they effectively, as a team, as a collaborative, bring this piece of art together into life. As well, most classes at a public school, English or math or science, work more the logical side of your mind. Don't really promote as much creativity as the creative arts with theater or music or art. According to Miller, who wrote the case for music in the schools, asserts that music stimulates the brain so much more differently than the other courses. It works your right side, your more creative, imaginative side of your brain. It's responsible for bolstering creativity and your emotional intelligence. Academic classes really only work your left side, your logical side of your mind. And Marcy, from a case study examining the decision to cut music from schools, not only found that when music programs were cut and the academic scores fell, but it created more budgetary issues because a lot of the creative students left to go to other schools, bringing them back kind of to square one, so to speak. So as you can see, music can have a huge impact on students' creativity and discipline. Can even have huge impact on the school's budgetary things should you cut or leave or have those students go away. I'll also tell you about how music promotes left-right brain thinking. In our brains, there are two sides. You have the left side, which is responsible for your logical thinking, your reasoning, your mathematics slash kind of scientific side. Whereas your right side is more responsible for your creativity, your imagination, your emotional reasoning, the art side, so to speak. According to West and Clow from Art Education Policy Review, music is one of the few activities that will engage both sides of the brain. And this helps improve your memory and your reasoning. So if you need to memorize things for a test or have to look at a problem from a different perspective, music helps to stimulate that kind of thought. Music can be logical as you're using your hands to play an instrument, or you're thinking about beats and you're counting, trying to keep order and logic rhythmically. But your creativity is boosted because you have to be expressive. You have to say something with this piece of art. And according to McFerrin Vogler from the International Journal of Education and Art, this also, if you play music or do something creative in the long term, not just for a year, but throughout a decade plus, your grades will be improved. You'll have higher test scores. Your memory will be much sharper. You'll be able to look at things from different perspectives. These are just some of the many benefits that music can offer. But the last thing I will discuss with you is how music can boost your IQ. On average, they found that musicians tend to have higher IQs, and Baker was quoted saying that the intricacies and the complexity of the music could enhance abstract reasoning by reinforcing certain complex patterns of neural activity. So in essence, if you're playing even if it's not entirely too complex music, but the music has complexity to it, this forces your brain to have to rewire, make these complex neural pathways to deal with this complexity, and in turn will help you to deal with complexity outside of the music. One really only needs to try to play an instrument to just see how odd that task really is when you think about it. If you try to play piano, your hands or a guitar, or really any instrument, your hands are doing things they're not really meant to naturally do. But then at the same time, you have to think about the rhythm, the pitch. You're reading sheet music, probably, or if you're in a band or some kind of ensemble, you're listening to these other musicians and having to stay with them rhythmically and stay in tune and do all these things. Even if we took the task of, say, singing a simple tune like row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, something as simple as that, just singing a simple tune, I'm having to sit there and think about, well, am I in pitch? I have to listen to myself. Am I projecting enough? Am I in time with myself? Is it the right melody? Is it the right rhythm? There's so many things, and this is all happening at the same time, and it takes a long time just to harness that. And West and Clow from the Arts Education Policy Review states one of the best arguments you really can have for keeping music programs is it just makes kids smarter. And with many STEM or engineering or science or lawyer professionals have been found to either be hobbyist musicians or former musicians themselves. They also found that music was incredibly therapeutic in dealing with the stresses that come with school. Stress can be incredibly harmful. Most college students don't need to tell you this. That can be incredibly harmful academically and just makes life overall unpleasant. But if you played an instrument or did some music therapy, it helped with your overall health and your life and academic life as well. So as you can see, music programs offer so many benefits that can, if stuck with, can last a lifetime and throughout your professional and student career. I've also told you about how they can help with your discipline and your creativity. They promote left right brain thinking, and they can bolster IQ scores. But imagine if I told you, like if you go to a public school, and imagine if you told a child like the football program was going to be gone, or a loved club wasn't going to be there tomorrow, or art was canceled, or the big field trip that everyone loves to go to wasn't going to happen. I cannot tell you how many students have to feel that when they're told the music program won't be there anymore. And I hope with this information and with this talk that I've inspired you to fight for music programs, or fight harder for music programs and for all extracurriculars that help to engender creativity and imagination, that are often seen as the easy or the quickest to chop and save money. So I'm going to leave you with a short quote from one of my personal music heroes, Mr. Louis Armstrong. He was one of the most influential jazz musicians and just musician on American music overall. His influence can be seen even to this day. So he's quoted as saying, "Music is life itself. What would this world be without good music? No matter what kind it is."